Okay guys, we are back with a video. So you have seen that so far in 400,000 shillings. So we shall close like I don't know. Let's close some positions and then we shall leave the rest to run. But I think this is a very good trade. Just goes to show that I'm the best, bro. I'm just the best, you know. I'm not even capping. I told you guys that under that level we're expecting price to sell off, okay? And we sold off. We had that massive sell off and then the rest is history, as they say. So we had that sniper entry. Let's look at that. Price just went down, right? I think I also closed this position because why not? Yeah. So I've taken 50k to 600,000. So I think we are just nearer to our target because our target was 1 million. Okay, so it took 50k to 1 million. That was our target. So far, we have seen we have taken a $50,000, 50,000 Ugandan shillings into 600,000. So I think that's a great video intro, right? So yeah, so we have taken actually. If you observe from this, let's just take it from where from 50k. So that means you saw this balance of 50k. So from just take a screenshot. So let's take it from all the way here. Okay, this is the start of the account, right? So it took from 50. We had sales, the first sales, there are some profit. Then after some time we had these buys, that in some profit. Then after some time we have this massive sell-off, and so far you see that we're in massive profit. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's how we do it. But I'm probably gonna be looking for some other entries that we can reach our 1 million mark pretty fast, right? Pretty fast. But yeah, that's it. And as you can see, you haven't yet been risking hella crazy. You've just been risking the minimum, and you have made cash. That just goes to show that you can do it even if you have the most limited of money. All right, it's not just about money; it's just about passion. Okay, whatever. We shall look for other entries elsewhere. We have Bitcoin. Bitcoin has actually been selling previously, but I think we are going to have some good buys. We have some good buying entries. So for Bitcoin, sorry for that. So for Bitcoin, we have this area over here. We saw that under this area of support, price sold off very aggressively. So Bitcoin, it may sell a bit. Let me just go to M15. It may sell a bit. Yeah, not just a bit. It may really sell because we're under an area of what? Great support. So if you observe, price came here and then we had this massive buying. So price came here, we bought, right? So it came here, price bought, and then afterwards we had this indication that under here we are selling. Okay, so for Bitcoin we may also see another sell off, but gold, yeah, I closed out too early on gold, but it's okay, it's all right. My target was these areas down here, but yeah, we are good with the 600,000 from 50k to 600,000. So the losses that I had previously, we have recovered everything. So we had a deposit of almost 750 and we have made 266. But relatively speaking, it's like we took 50k into 50k is like $10. We took $10 into 600,000 is how much? $200. I think it's like 200. I think around 200. Yeah, 200 there. Our target is what? 1M. So yeah. Let's go in for more sell entries. Okay. So far we saw that we got stopped out in the first case. But I don't really think gold is likely to have another push down. If I close out most of these, okay. We had a break here. When gold is aggressive, we want to look out for instances where price can potentially reverse from. And I think let me first use the help of the Bollinger Bands at this one because it will help me out a bit. So Okay, so we have the Bollinger Bands. Price reached the bottom Bollinger Bands and is now trying to retrace. So okay, we are like okay, good, okay, we are buying. Okay, cool. Like okay, cool. Yeah, we are buying. Okay. And we have this massive red candle. Okay, this is an indication from price that it doesn't want to go any lower. But we know that if we are to pull back, if price is to make some big deep pullback, we can only pull back to where the price first stopped. So if price is to buy, we may buy all the way up to there, because that's the only recent area where we had to have that breakout. But we already have the retest here, so it's not something very huge. We can also use this one, but I love this one the most because this is where we see most of the selling volume kicking in, right? So this candle, the way I usually trade this candle is that I don't usually love to trade like, okay, so we had the break, retest came deep down, and if price goes above one more time, I may take my buys, but if it doesn't, yeah, we shall look for other entries elsewhere. Okay, so we see that this candle is actually just playing on our minds right now, but let's wait for the 1 minute candle close to finish and then we shall see. But so far, yeah, so far I'm really grateful for this. You know, we took a 50k account into 600, so very close to the 1 million mark. And this is where most people mess up when they are close to their goal. They usually over leverage and they make all these silly mistakes. I usually recommend that you don't do that. Okay, just be well. Okay, we have. Okay. I'm seeing something. Sorry, guys, but I'm seeing something. Had a break here, under here. Price may pull back, but did you have a break? Yeah, we had a break correction. Let's wait, because there's lots of drama here. There's lots of drama here that I usually want to avoid at this point. Let's wait a bit. I want you guys to also observe the market structure, right? We are selling. Okay, so we are selling here. Price came to this area of resistance, it sold off. We had this break of the support, we came above, and we had this continuation when price went down here. So that was the first confirmation that price is going to sell under here. So here I would have entered with a zero float, and then you would have entered with full margin for a sell. Okay, now the same thing is happening here, although yeah, it's happening here. We had this break, and then price gave us the false breakout. We have touched the edge, but you know, this is not the edge, right? The price had touched really the edge, we would have sold off. So I'll sell here, a bit risky, I know, but I'll sell because price has shown me momentum. And usually when you reach the edge of the Bollinger Bands, most people want to start buying, but that's not how you trade. You instead you sell. Okay, you sell. So I've reached my mark, but you know, price pulled back. But as I've told you, once price reaches the bottom Bollinger Band, most of you guys, you try to counteract it. You try to like buy. No, you don't buy. You first sell. You sell, because usually this is gonna be an indication from price. Most people are arrogantly caught up with their emotions. So they usually, what they do is that they usually come with the mindset that, oh, price is under, it has touched the bottom Bollinger Band, it's supposed to sell, it's supposed to buy. No. The moment you touch the bottom Bollinger Band, price is already giving the indication that he wants to sell even more. I closed out early, but it's okay. We have made over 900k. So I'm really grateful for this. I don't know if you guys know how grateful I am for this, but I'm really grateful. So yeah, I think that's it for now. We have reached our point whereby we are like, we have made so much money that we don't even care anymore, right? Our target has been reached. We have made from 50k, we have reached 1 million. Okay, so from 50k UGX, we have been able to reach 1 million just trading, pure trading. All right. And I think the key takeaways that I can take from this is that the first key takeaway that I've seen from the previous, because if you go to the full, you know that I've made over 352 deposit, right? So I'll start off by this account here, the 50k account over here. So I'll start off by using this. Okay, so this will be my first analysis. This all from here all the way, okay, first to do from here all the way up to here. This will be my analysis, so just watch out for that when I'm speaking. Okay, let me just save and use this. Yeah, I think we shall just close. Okay, close. Let's go for a close call. We reached 1M, but of course price pulled back, so we shall go back in the market and reach our target. But as you can see, so price, it came. I want to analyze from here all the way up to here. Okay, so these buy entries that I took, if you guys observe, I had a 50k account and I had been using maximum lot size. I was using very huge positions, right? I was using very huge positions, and here also the setup was a bit invalidated. This was a buy, but I was over leveraging. All right, I was over leveraging and also had no plan, so that's why this first entry had to take me out. So this is how I lost the first account, the 50k account. Okay, so like cool. Then I deposited another 50k. If you guys observe, I was able to take this account over how much? Some good amount before I blew it. But let me first tick again, showing you that the same scenario. Okay, so this is a 50k account, right? So the first entries that I took from here all the way up to here, they were all the same. If you observe, 48, 37, and 36. Okay, they're all sales, and we're able to take this 50k account over. If you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's over. If I counted 10, that's almost 180 something thousand, right? So from 50k to 180,000. So that said, we go back to, if you observe, I was just selling, and then over here, if you observe, that's where I blew the account again. Why? Because I was using maximum position sizing. I was using many positions. Okay, if you observe, I was using the same lot size here, and also I had no clear exit plan. When you have no, I had the setup. The setup was valid, could have been valid. Okay, which is good, but the exit, that's where the issue came in. If you have a pure exit, if the exit is poor, even though the setup is good, if the exit is poor, if you don't know where you can exit when the market goes against you, then it's an invited trade. You can't really know what you're doing. Then the second account, or just formal wing, if you observe from I'll just use this again. So if you observe from here, I bought again with 0.303. I just want to show you guys this so that you can understand the psychology behind this. Okay, see that all these accounts that I blew the first time, I was using big positions for the first time. That means this big loss that I had of 13k on the 50k account, it took me out a lot. Okay, it put me back a lot, right? But if I had used a smaller lot size, maybe 0.01, I could have managed to, even though it was a loss, I would have managed to come back. But you see that all these other entries were all based off of the fact that I had lost the first position. So it kind of correlates, right? Okay, so I'll go, and then we had this other account. This one again, if you observe, it's just the same thing. I was just using big lots for the first entries, which made my account to be in the negative for the first couple of hours, right? Then you see over here I deposited 25k UGX. So over here we deposited 25k UGX, and we took these sales, which as you can observe now, I want you to notice the difference. If you observe, all these sales were in loss, which was good, but they were all small losses. Look at that, small losses, which enabled me to get even better entries, and I was able to make even bigger profit. I don't know if you guys can observe this. If I did 0.03 here, the first position here would have been around 25k, right, or something, and I would have lost the whole account. But because I've used minimum positions, minimum lot sizing for the first position, I'm able to come back psychologically from the drawdown. But the mistake I think which I've been making is that I don't usually come back from the drawdown, right? So if you're in losing position, you should lose small. Look at that. Look at the losses. Only 1k, 1k, 1k. All right. And relatively speaking, I was able to take this 25k account into almost like around 50k, I think. And then I took these very many entries for sales, and they took me out, right? So also this, I can comment on this just a bit. Okay, so here also I took these many entries for buys. I think I could have taken like three would have been enough. Like I wouldn't have to have put all these many positions. This was all formal. This was all FOMO and fear, all right, and so many emotions here. But even if I'd put three positions of 0.01, okay, and they had worked out, it would have been good. But anyways, so far, as you can see, I took another account again, but this time around I was using only 0.01. I'd learned my mistake, right? So here I was using 0.01, but it helped me. You see, once you learn a mistake, now look at this. From here, I deposited another 50k. Then I took sales of 0.01, okay, and I was making these small losses, small losses, small losses, small losses, small losses. But they weren't able to take out the account. Look at that. I'd spent something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 trades. They took out the account fine, but at least the first entry, the first exit was only 5k. That means if I had got some good trades, I could have taken this account even more bigger. But we shall talk about that later. Okay, so here is where you can see that the magic happened, right? Here's where the magic happened. If you can see, the first position was 0.02 and it was a profit, right? So over here, this was 0.02 sell. Remember, this is 50k, so this was a 0.02 sell. We made 15k. This was 0.02 sell, 13, 13, 14, okay, another 14. You can call it luck. You can call it luck, but you can't, like, if you observe, just look at this. Just look at this, right? Let's look at this. Here I bought 0.02. I made profit of only 6k, 6k, 8k, 3k, 4k. Here I made a loss of 2.9 something k, right? But this was good because the account was growing slowly. There was no hurry. And look at that. I took another buy here, right? Sorry, I took another buy here. Another buy of 0.02. We had a profit, another 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 profit. If you observe all these trades, if you observe all of these trades, they are all based off of the fact that I was holding. Now these entries here that I had, which made over 100k, if I had put 0.1, this would have been 1m. Okay, but anyways, just not to over dramatize, what I'm trying to mean is that if you observed, I maximized on my entries. These were I was maximizing on my entries also, right? And something else that I learned also, if you take a loss, just say to yourself, you know what? This was my money. Now it is for the market. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It was your money, so before it was yours, right? Yours. But the moment you put it into the market, it's for the what? For the market. So it was my money, but now it's for the market. That is the mindset that you can always meditate upon as you come into the market. That hey, even though this had gone into a loss and I lost this other 50k account, I would be like, hey, this was my account, that is for the market. As simple as that. Anyways, not to bore you with facts. So far we've reached 900. I'm really happy for this. You see that we have made some good cash. Okay, we have made some good cash. So we have tested bottom Bollinger Band, and most people will be like, oh, let me first start to, oh. So we have had this break. So price will potentially have a pullback. May potentially have a pullback. Now the strategy that I use when I'm having a pullback, I don't want to see price come underneath this area. This first red candle, I don't want to see price come underneath this second red candle. Because if we do, my setup is invalidated, right? So what I want to do is I usually want to buy after price comes above this area. So once price comes above this red candle, that's where I take my entries for buys. Okay, this is where I take my entries for buys. But also I can take buy entries here. Once price comes in the area of the red candle, I think that's where I can take buy entries. Yeah. Okay, price still wants to sell. What's happening, bro? On the daily time frame, price is actually selling off very aggressively. People who are waiting for the New York session to start I think you'll be surprised because price is selling aggressively in this pitch. But so far, this is first candle, and it hasn't yet closed. This is H1 candle. Therefore, we have just touched the bottom Bollinger Band, and price will likely, it will pull back, but not so much as people expect, right? Not so much. On the H4, price touched the Bollinger Band, it pulled back. Now it's selling off. So most people will be confused. They'll be like, oh, where can I enter for sales? Just leave the market. It has given you some profit. Just leave it. Let it ride. All right, let it ride, because you can't really know exactly where price will stop. So I would take one last entry so that I could stop, and I call it a day. But price so far is getting kind of hectic right now. It's getting kind of hectic. It's hard to keep up with all this selling volume. Okay. There's lots of selling volume. I can promise you that there's lots of selling. I don't know why, but it seems as though there's lots of selling momentum. Bro, if I'd held my sales, remember those sales that I took from up there? Because I took my sales from around here. It could have been like massive. But anyways, it was my setup. Now it is for the market, so I can't do anything about that. But if you observe, I took the sniper entry actually from around, I think it was above here. Yeah, I think it was here. This is where I took the entry, right? I took the entry from around here, I think. Yeah, I took the sell from there above, and then we had this massive sell-off. So if I'd held a bit, I would have been in massive profit. But that's not to say that I won't make it. I want to reach my target, then call it a day. So far, we are remaining with only like 65k. But I won't call it a day like, hey, no, the day is over. No. What I mean is, I'll just be happy. And but look at this candle, bro. Just look at how many pips this has been. Like from here all the way down here. Look at how many pips that is. I want to go to the weekly time frame and observe. From the weekly time frame, actually the weekly is actually giving me the confirmation we need for sales. We left this huge wick in the previous week. Okay, so yeah, price may likely touch the middle Bollinger Band, right? We may touch the middle Bollinger Band. We don't know when, but we likely have to touch the middle Bollinger Band. Now, when we go to the Bollinger Band, actually, what I will do is that I will usually switch it off right now, because right now it will give you false signals, right? So instead, I'll go to another tool. I call it the alligator, right? I go with the alligator right now because it shows me where price is likely to have some bit of a confirmation for entries. I go to the M1 on the alligator and I realize that price is likely to have another push to the upside. But as I've told you before, price will likely to buy. So I'll go in with a small lot size, 0.01. I think is enough. Okay. Shall buy 0.01 so that we can touch the middle line. And then the stop loss for this one, the stop loss is gonna be just underneath this red candle. So at 47.59, 47.59 I think is good. 47.59. I'll be using a stop loss here because wow. 47.59 will be my stop loss. My ideal stop loss 47.59. Price is really aggressive here. It's really aggressive. I can't. Let me just leave gold for now. Let me just chill with gold right now because I'll be effed up right now. So I have another entry here. We may have some. Actually, I may not may, but I think I have an entry here. So under this area, price is what? Becoming bullish for US30. It's coming bearish under this area. Now for this tool that I'm using, I usually have to use it from the H1 perspective so that I can get a clear indication And so far on the M15, I see some bit of yeah, I see some setup which I like this setup a lot. I think I'll just be buying US30 for now, and then I'll be holding and seeing how price goes. Yeah, I'll be buying US30 because above that area price is bullish. So above this area price is bullish, and I mean, like, why not take buys? Okay, but you know, US30 it moves a bit slow, so just put one position and then you shall be holding until price reaches around here. I think here is fine. So this is only 1K, bro. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? I think that's enough positions, and we shall be holding until we reach the top there. So US30 we shall be buying, and then let's see what price gives us. The next few, I will be in touch with you in the next hours. Thank you.